Hey, what's going on YouTube? Look what we have. My wife's 2009 Mazda 6. What I'm doing, I'm changing the wheel bearing on this side, the wheel bearing. So what you want to do, you want to pull the nut on your upper ball joint, the nut on your tie rod end, pull these two nuts, basically everything falls out. Take your top ball joint off. I never use one of those ball joint prong things. I got two and you stick it in and basically you destroy all your rubber. What you do, your spindle, take the hammer, and once you got your nut off, and just tap, well I shouldn't say tap, beat, basically fucking as hard as you can on the side of your spindle, and then basically it'll fall off. Same goes with your tie rod end. So what I'm doing here, as you can see, I got the old one out. It was an absolute cunt to get out of the fucking spindle, as every other time I changed it. There's the other piece. So you don't have a press, but you have a vise. You can just press these bearings in, and how I'm going to show you to do this is basically what I'm doing right now. I'm going to press this in, and then I'll show you the next step. Alright, as you can see, I don't have it in quite all the way. What happened was, it's flush. So what I do, I take my old bearing, the old one, and I sit it right against the new bearing. You always got to use, well, I always use the old one, because what it does, it fits around the outer race of the bearing. You do not want to put any pressure on this, on the center. If you put any pressure on the center of this, it's a sealed bearing and you're going to destroy it. So all your time will be wasted. Put this on, tighten this up, and drive it in until she's flush in the back. Next step, your C-clip. This goes on the back side. This is the side I was pressing in, so the bearing goes this way. So next step, you put your C-clip. Alright, so the C-clip, what I always do before I reinstall the C-clip, I always put it in the bench grinder on the wire wheel and clean it up, clean all the rust off. That way there's the groove that it sits in, it sits in a little bit better. You know, if this has got some rust on it and stuff, and you know, it might have some complications getting it in. So once I got this sitting in, I take my any screwdriver, basically a flat screwdriver, and just tap all the way around, all around the C-clip, just to ensure that it's all in its groove. So now, I know this is pretty redneck, all this pressing shit, but the way I'm doing it. Okay, next is your hub, I guess. And what you want to do, oh wow, it basically fell right in. Usually you have to press that on. I don't really like how that went on. Wow. Alright, anyway, this here hub is supposed to be pressed into this bearing, and as you can see, it just falls right in. I don't know what the hell happened to it, but anyway, I'm going to I guess I'm just going to take the whole thing to Mazda. I'll get a new hub and get them to press it in for me, because sometimes it can be a bitch to press in. But what I'm going to do for this video, I'm going to show you how I press them in. So basically what you do, you have the hub sitting in as far as you can in the bearing. Then what I do, I take a socket, a big socket that fits on the outer part of this bearing. The outer part right here, you have to have an exact fit. because this reddish or burgundy color, brown, whatever you want to call it, this part right here, that's your magnet for your ABS. So you do not want to fuck that up, because if you fuck that up, then your ABS is not going to work. So you need a socket exactly the size of this. You take the socket and you fit it perfectly between. You open up your vise, place the socket in your vise, tighten it up, double check your socket, triple check. Check it 10 times if you have to. Make sure it's completely centered all the way around. And like I said, open up your vise, have your socket perfect, and then have this sitting on this side. Obviously it's not sitting right now. And then tighten your vise. Tighten your vise till this is in as far as it will go. And yeah, then you'll be good to reinstall. Thanks for watching, guys.